Hello, welcome to IDG Talks here at ADA University. My name is Anastasia Lavrina. Azerbaijan continues to strengthen its cooperation with African countries, and it seems that in Africa, Azerbaijan is very welcomed. More in details on this and many other issues, we're going to talk with our special guest who is joining me now from South Africa, Mr. Thembisa Ignatius Fakude, who is a Director and Senior Research Fellow of Africa-Asia Dialogues. Warm welcome.
Most welcome.
Thank you very much. So, Mr. Fakude, Azerbaijan recently participated in the ceremony of opening embassy in Kenya. And apart from that, there were some meetings signaling about the deepening relations between two countries and, most of all, increasing the presence of Azerbaijan in Africa. So, how significant you think this move in the broader context of Azerbaijan, Eurasia and Africa relations?
I think it's very significant, and it's long overdue. Azerbaijan is one of those countries in Eurasia that has shown much more bigger interest in terms of getting involved in Africa, and they've strategically chosen Kenya and South Africa, which are two very important countries. One is a powerhouse in East Africa and the Horn of Africa, and the other one, of course, being in South Africa, is also very significant. So these two countries, I think, as amongst the first embassies for Azerbaijan, will certainly ensure that there's a promotion of relations between the two countries, well, three countries now.
Yes, indeed. So, more in details, how do you interpret Azerbaijan's outreach to East Africa, particularly Kenya, I'm talking about, in terms of strategic and geopolitical values for both sides?
I think what Kenyans are looking for largely are looking for economic opportunities. And I think Azerbaijan will assist. They've already started with education and training civil servants in various parts of Africa. So with the economy, particularly in Kenya, and the rare earth minerals and all the new business that's coming as a result of artificial intelligence, I think Azerbaijan will be well placed to make sure that they exploit and explore those opportunities.
Well, from your own research observations, is Azerbaijan viewed as a neutral partner by African states, especially in contrast to traditional Western or emerging Eastern powers?
Azerbaijan has got no baggage. They were not colonizers in Africa, so they come very clean, and I think they'll be welcomed by most Africans. In fact, the first entry or interventions of Azerbaijan into Africa was that of goodwill. Helping with education, taking some of the African students to Baku for studying. So the relationship is fresh and it's new, and it's got no burden in terms of history. So I think there is an opportunity for Azerbaijan to play a very important role in Africa, especially now with the leadership of non-aligned movement. I think that also puts Azerbaijan in a different position.
Yes, absolutely. Azerbaijan doesn't accept any form of neocolonialism in the 21st century and actively fighting against that. And many African states already, highlighted Azerbaijan's stance and strong support within this time when some powers, especially from the western part of the world, are still thinking about their colonial past. During the chairmanship within the non-aligned movement, you rightly mentioned, Azerbaijan initiated many new platforms, new ideas, new projects to make sure that not any neocolonialism is prevail in the 21st century. Therefore, how does this resonate with African nations today?
I think non-aligned movement has moved from what it used to be before, which was purely political. I think now we've got a lot of opportunities. First of all, the chance for these countries, including African countries, to be sitting in one room and discussing issues. And in that, there are opportunities for further discussions about possibilities of economic interaction and partnerships. So non-aligned movement is not just about non-aligned from the old Cold War. It's about providing a platform and an opportunity for all of these countries to have a chance, one, to know each other, but importantly, to get a chance to speak and explore possible opportunities amongst themselves and how they can promote development and economic progress within their countries.
So beyond the diplomatic presence, Azerbaijan also expressed interest in expanding cooperation in the spheres like education, energy, or tourism. So, what kinds of partnerships or exchange would you expect to see developing in this context between Azerbaijan and African countries?
I think Azerbaijan has got a lot of natural beauty, but when the people of Azerbaijan discover Africa, particularly with the nature and fauna and flora, we've got a lot of animals in Africa, and I think you're likely to see more Azerbaijanis coming to this part of the world. So Kenya, for example, has got a large game tourism, and South Africa's got both. South Africa is a mixture of both worlds. You've got the world which is extremely developed in terms of economy, but at the same time, there is also an opportunity of doing proper tourism. So South Africa, I think, is likely to play an important role, and I think with tourism, the people from Azerbaijan will really enjoy the east coast of Africa, both from Kenya and in South Africa.
And finally, how can Azerbaijan distinguish its engagement model from more extractive or transactional ones that have historically defined external involvement in Africa?
I think Azerbaijan must stick to its script, which has already started. That is, encourage social engagement with Africa, encourage political engagement with African partnerships. But importantly, I think it has to look at opportunities of economic progress and development with African countries, which is what I think most Africans need. But the world needs progress in these poor countries, because if you've got economic progress, chances are you won't have terrorism, you won't have people crossing dangerous waters into Europe for better opportunities. So economics is much needed in Africa to ensure that you fight all of these other ills that are as a result of lack of economic progress.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining our talk today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.